Welcome back, Cupid's crew. Paula is here, and we're super excited today because this is one of Paula's favorite rom-coms, and I have so many questions for her about it, and I'm really excited to dive in. Paula, since it's your favorite, do you want to introduce our rom-com today?
Something Borrowed follows Rachel, a shy Manhattan attorney who falls in love with Dex, the fiance of her glamorous, self-absorbed best friend Darcy. So after a drunken night together on Rachel's 30th birthday, Rachel and Dex begin a passionate affair, forcing Rachel to choose between her lifelong friendship and her soulmate thanks to IMDb. And character list. Missy, do you have the character list or do you want me to go into the characters?
I do. We have Jennifer Goodwin. Is that how you say her name, Jennifer, or is it Jennifer?
Jennifer?
Jennifer Goodwin, Kate Hudson, John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Krasinski, Colin Egglesfield. Is that Egglesfield? Egglesfield? Which I have a comment about him, which I'll get to in a second. And then Steve Howey.
Which
Go ahead.
I thought you would have a kick out of that one.
I do have a spill the popcorn for that one.
Yeah, go for
But
it.
I don't think it's the one you think I'm going to say.
Oh, I was gonna say it's the one about your favorite TV show right now, Off Campus.
No, I was not going to. We are past off campus.
Okay, you should still bring it up. So the guy
Steve
in
Howey, who
yes,
plays, what's his name in the movie?
in the movie Marcus.
Marcus. He plays Marcus. Yes, he's the dad in Off Campus, which his two characters are just so polar opposites. Like, it's insane. Also, he lost a ton of weight. Like, he doesn't look recognizable in Off Campus. But anyway, my spill the popcorn for this episode was Kate Hudson and Steve Howey. This isn't the first time they've starred in a movie together.
Which one was it?
Bride Wars.
Oh yeah. I was gonna bring that one up too. Bride Wars. Right.
Yeah.
Are they each other's couple or is Anne Hathaway married to Steve
No,
Howey?
Steve Howey and Kate Hudson are the engaged couple.
Okay. Well, we thought it would be really relevant to talk about Something Borrowed, not because it's my favorite episode, but because it came out in 2011. So it's celebrating its 15th anniversary, which is quite crazy. I don't remember the first time I watched this movie, Missy, and I didn't know that it had been a book by Emily Giffin, who has since, from the time that this movie came out, has grown in her profession as an author. But I did not know that this was a book. But then I did read, because there's a sequel. I did read the sequel after watching this movie because I wanted to know, and I wanted, after you get so invested in these characters so that I can kind of get to know more about what happens. But I don't want to spoil anything for the book. I will say that the book focuses on Darcy and Ethan.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, so in the movie, they make it seem like Darcy and Marcus are going to end up be endgame,
Yes.
and that Darcy and Ethan are just like frenemies.
Right.
But you're telling me in the second book we get an enemies to friends lover arc, or friends to lovers, whatever you want to call that arc, that trope.
Because we have to remember that Ethan, Darcy, and Rachel were always childhood friends. I think in the movie, they make it seem that Darcy and Ethan really hate each other,
Yeah.
or at least Ethan really hates Darcy's character.
Yeah.
But I think that in the book, it's kind of sweet too. I think in the book, they address how Marcus ends up being, out of the picture, and then Darcy raises her child with Ethan's help.
That makes me so happy, and now I think I have to read the books.
Yes. Let me know how you think of the book because this summer is all about book to movie adaptations. Not that we ever got a movie with the sequel, but anyway, we still have to talk about the first movie. So, Something Borrowed is one of my favorite movies, and I think the reason why is because it's set in New York, which I love. You and I have talked about this all the time. We love our good classic New York rom-coms. But more importantly, I think that the reason why I love it is because not everyone has watched it. So I think it's always my go-to whenever a friend asks for a rom-com recommendation because chances are they probably haven't seen it. And the reason why I think they haven't seen it is because it didn't do super well in the ratings and the reviews. It got a 15%.
I was gonna say 15-year anniversary, 15%. What's with this 15?
I know, 15% on Rotten
Do you
Tomatoes.
agree with that? Regardless of it being one of your favorite rom-coms, like from a critical, I guess, perspective, do you agree or disagree? Do you think it should have been a little bit higher, considering some of the other rom-coms that we reviewed? Like, I think it was To All the Boys got 92,
I
right?
think I agree with the score now that I know more about what goes into the score and originality. And I think it's a very, if it's kind of, you know how it's a fast read, kind of, the quintessential summer reading on the beach. It's very fast. It's the same kind of, it's the same idea, but for a movie. And this movie is just very, if you have errands and you want a movie on the background, then this is definitely your movie. But I think that I agree with also the audience rating of it, which was 56%.
Got it.
So I do think that people enjoyed watching it. I think the reason why the Rotten Tomatoes score was 15% was because it doesn't bring you anything new.
Yeah.
And the negative reviews, a lot of it were ones that I agree with, where if you think about it, even if Rachel and Dex are so cute together, they were still having an affair behind Darcy's back. Granted, Darcy was having an affair too behind Dex's back, but still, for us as a society to fully support Dex and Rachel getting together would be wrong. So I get why it got a 15%. But I also, if you watch the movie and you keep watching it, it does a really good job at, even though on the surface it seems as if it's a shallow movie, there aren't too many deep storylines. I kind of think that if you watch it close enough, you will see that it's a kind of a sad story and there are deep storylines.
I'm so happy you said that because when I watched this for the first time, like when I was younger, probably maybe college or as a teenager, you're like, oh my God, Dex and, Rachel are meant to be together. Like, of course it's okay to be cheating. Like, they're meant to be. Like, Darcy just stole her man. Like, at least that's what I was thinking at the time. But now, as a mature, almost 30-year-old, I'm like, Ethan's right. Like, Dex is kind of a dick. Like, he's not standing up for his woman. Like, he's letting his family pressure him. If he really wants this girl, like, end your engagement. But then again, you have to remember it is a movie, it is a book. This is all for the plot. And so, kind of had to suspend my belief, if that's the right word I want to use.
Yeah.
But definitely resonated with Ethan's character more now than I did yet when I watched it for the first time, maybe a little bit younger, where I was caught up in the love story of it all.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, let's fast forward to the meet cute moment where do we think it's realistic? Do we not think it's realistic? And this is perfect timing too because people just graduated from college. And actually, I think a lot of my friends just graduated from law school. It's that time where it's been long enough. And I think it's realistic. Of course,
I love
it's
the meet cute moment. Sorry. I
I
loved it in college with the pens, and he was so cute about it. I loved it.
I mean, not to spoil it for anyone who hasn't watched it, but their meet cute moment is very wholesome in that you can get a really good sense of Rachel's character. Type A has to
Yeah,
have everything buttoned up, and then Dex's character and how it complements Rachel's character.
1000%.
Soup of one scene, but
Yeah.
and
But
then,
then I think the
yeah,
other meet cute moment is when Darcy comes into play.
yeah, I hated that one.
I just, I feel like Darcy is your typical anti-hero in the movie
Yeah,
because you want to feel bad for her because her friend is cheating her on her and her fiance is cheating on her behind her back. However, she's such an obnoxious asshole of a person.
that's what added on to the negative reviews of this movie was because Darcy's character was so over villainized.
Yes. Yes, I
Over,
agree 100%. Like every chance she got, it was I think if maybe there were some wholehearted moments, which there were many ones, but then it came back and it was so quick you couldn't even catch on to like the glimpses of her being whole. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, no, but from second
And
one,
they dumped her down. I didn't like that either.
yeah, I
Sorry.
didn't like that either. I agree. I was just gonna say, from the very first second we are introduced to Darcy to the very last, there isn't any part of the movie where I actually fall in love with her character. And so I think that's hard because she's also Kate Hudson. And so watching Kate Hudson play that character, but she has been, I was just going to bring this up to you. Kate Hudson is such a well-rounded actress because of all the different tropes that she can play and do it really well. She can play the mean girl character, not just in this movie, but Bride Wars too.
I'm glad you said that because in Bride Wars, her character is kind of self-absorbed, like her character in this movie. However, in Bride Wars, she's more empathetic.
Yeah.
She has come around moments. She has those moments where she is an actual person and is wholehearted and cares about Anne Hathaway's character. Whereas in here, there was no other side, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah. And as I've grown older, I've seen her in more, I guess, protagonistic roles, which I also love for her.
She's been in more serious roles. I feel like she's taking kind of a step back from the rom-com of it all.
Yeah.
And she's been in more serious, like some Song Sung Blue about like the Neil Diamond story.
Yes, that did really well.
That was, I don't know if that's a rom-com. I don't remember if it's not a rom-com.
I don't think so. It has romance elements in it. I think Hugh Jackman is in it, but
yeah.
Okay, so there. I also think that we should talk about how such a big part of the movie is the friendship. I think for the first time ever, I didn't want Dex and Rachel to be together.
Yeah.
I wanted Ethan and Rachel to be together because they're such good friends. And you always hear the best relationships starting out as a friendship.
So I think for me watching this movie the second time or third time, I can't remember what time this was, my view was a little like blurred with watching Ethan and Rachel interact because I know at the end, Ethan confesses that he has this crush and really likes Rachel.
Yeah.
However, that blurred me from when I was watching all their interactions. Like, was he actually being supportive best friend, or was he coming from a place of, I like you and I could be better than Dex? You know what I mean?
I think yes, that's a really good point. And I think I know where you're going with. I think if you skip forward until the very last couple of seconds, then you might think that way. But I think that he also gave Dex and Rachel a lot of chances.
Yes, he did. And I love he was also he was team Rachel.
Yeah, he was team Rachel.
But above it all, even though he had these feelings for Rachel, I think he was team Rachel before he was team Ethan, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%, which is very funny because his whole thing, I mean, this is how you know he's team Rachel's because he tells Rachel to be selfish.
Yes.
If that's against what he wanted.
Yeah.
But
I loved his character, and I loved that he was the real talk kind of in the whole movie. And I found myself relating to Rachel a lot more this time around watching it. And maybe that's because Dex is such a fuckboy in this movie. Yeah. And I've had my fair share of fuckboy moments with boys. And I've had my girlfriends be Ethan before.
Yeah.
But I've never had an Ethan, actually. So it was very refreshing to hear it from a guy's perspective.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed that. And I really hated Dex throughout the whole movie. Like, as much as I really wanted them to be endgame because they're meant to be, I hated the fact that he had every chance, like Ethan said, and he just didn't take it. But then again, this is a movie. It's supposed to be like an hour and a half long. You know, we need some kind of plot to keep going.
I totally agree. Let me just text my mom. Okay. So going off of that though, my favorite scene was the escalator scene.
Yes.
When she's coming down to apologize and she says, "I'm sorry." And he goes, "I know." Oh, that was
and when she gets down there, he's like, "That would have been really awkward if you didn't say it first." That was so cute.
I read the reviews and everyone loves Ethan's character. And you can't help but love Ethan's character because, again, he's team the girl that he likes. And I was sad when he moved to London, but I also think that it was necessary for him because I can't imagine if I were in those shoes to just watch the love of my life fall.
Was Rachel the love of his life? Because when he gives her the speech back in London, he says in that speech, like, I don't know if it's just because I'm here and I'm away from it all, or because, you're so in love with
You
Dex.
don't think that's because he was just embarrassed?
I don't know. I love this. Like, this is why we have this podcast to talk about these.
This is why we have this podcast, and I already kind of gave a spoiler for the sequel. So I can see Darcy's character once she does a little bit more self,
Souls.
soul searching, ending up with Ethan's character. Okay, but I will say, this movie, you are someone who really likes music, and I thought that this movie did a really great job with not the music per se that has lyrics, but just the really good tunes, the really good chimes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed that this time around.
Yeah. No, I did. I always noticed the music for some reason. And I loved the music, like you said. It was great.
What was the song at the very end where it goes, ah?
Little Too Much by Natasha Bedingfield.
Oh my gosh, yes. See that I love Natasha Bedingfield
Love it.
in any rom-com.
Yes. One thing I want to say is I noticed throughout the movie, maybe because I'm PR and marketing, I wonder if Heineken and Shake Shack were major sponsors or money people for this movie, because every time they're drinking, someone's holding a Heineken, if you noticed. And then Rachel and his lunch spot is always Shake Shack. In fact, when she comes to meet him in London, she brings him a Shake Shack.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because they were
Like, was that ad placement, or was it just because it's New York and maybe Shake Shack was becoming popular at the time and they wanted to show it off? I mean, I love Shake Shack, don't get me wrong.
No, this is true, but it says, no, Shake Shack did not sponsor the movie. Instead of paying for product placement, though, Shake Shack actually paid for allowing the filmmakers to shoot at their locations.
That makes sense.
So that does make a lot of sense, because I'm sure New York is very expensive and the permits and everything to require. But yeah, no, I loved, again, the whole New York aspect. I think this is another topic that I'd love to hear from our viewers is, have you ever noticed a rom-com where you thought this could be in a better city? Because I think Something Borrowed, it was great in New York, but there have been movies where I thought, oh, this could have been in a different city. Also, sorry, listen, I'm going to stop real quick and I'm going to blow my nose.
Okay. I wanted to say something while you blow your nose really quickly. You can still listen while you blow your nose. I noticed several scenes where Dex or Rachel or someone's waiting for a taxi. I've lived in New York City. I've also visited New York City before. There are so many scenes where the taxi comes right away, or the taxi just happens to be waiting outside the bar. That never happens in New York unless you're at Penn Station or maybe Rockefeller Center, some touristy location. Are there maybe taxis waiting outside? But there's never taxis waiting outside a random bar for you to get picked up. And I think in the beginning, when Ethan and Dex are both like trying to hail the taxi, they come pretty quickly. I mean, I know this is a movie, we're trying to move things along, but regardless, I don't think taxis ever come that quickly. That was just my hot take on, New York taxis and that thing.
I agree. Only at the airports will you see a line of taxis.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Benny heard Coda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's a guy who's walking. Coda does not love intruders. Coda, come here.
I also really loved the salt and pepper dance. I think we need to talk about that. That was super cute. And I know you mentioned to me before, you're like, Missy, we should do it. It would be fun to recreate it for this episode. And I said to you, I am not that coordinated. And at first I was watching it, I was like, okay, I see the moves, I could do it. Then when they do the step back thing, I was like, oh no, this is some TikTok thing and I can't do it. And I thought if this movie came out today, that dance would be viral on TikTok. Like everyone would be doing it.
I don't know. Yeah. Again, I don't know if people had this dance in mind, but I agree. I think that they obviously put a lot of care and attention into it. And I think it's really cute that these best friends, as toxic as their relationship could have been, it was cute that they had all these little special moments. Like they were truly best friends since childhood, which makes me think that it was so messed up of Darcy's character to lie to Rachel constantly, but I think it was built on jealousy. This friendship
Being able to lie to Darcy.
about no. Darcy lied to Rachel about Notre Dame.
Oh, Notre Dame. I thought you meant, sorry. Okay, Notre Dame. Got it.
Yeah, no, but
It
I
makes sense though for her character because Darcy, even to the end, can't admit that, defeat or can't, she has to be one up. She has to be better. Even when she says goodbye to Rachel at the end and she's like, I am really happy.
yeah. And Rachel's character is just always smiling and saying, I'm really happy for you.
I would love to ask our viewers if they've ever been in a friendship. It doesn't have to be a friendship from like childhood, like Darcy and Rachel, but have you been in, you can answer this too, maybe if you can. Have you been in a friendship where you felt like you were the Darcy or the Rachel, where there's always a shining star and then someone's kind of the back seat and doesn't really get a moment?
I think for me personally, if I ever think that it's getting to a point where it is kind of the toxic side of Darcy and Rachel's relationship, then I will kind of remove myself from that friendship, or at least for the interim. If I ever feel, let's say, a friend is a Darcy and I'm a Rachel, and I feel as if I'm being taken advantage of, or I'm taking advantage of someone else, then I take myself out. And so that's why I just go and touch grass. I literally will remove myself from social circles and just focus in on work or something, because I think that there is this element. I mean, people, all have a toxic side of ourselves, I think. And if you are, I can see if the bigger the friend circle is and everything, there could be moments where you don't act like yourself or aren't proud of yourself. And so I think that this movie showed a very realistic friendship duo. Like, even if you're the best of friends, it's human nature to feel jealousy or have competitive needs. And so, yeah, that's a good question though.
One of my favorite scenes was what's the girl's name that is in love with Ethan? The clinger.
Gosh, Claire, I think.
I love when Claire comes to the bedroom and you see, first of all, John Krasinski is like 6 foot something, right? Like clearly he's big and he's squished in this tiny little child's bedroom bed. And she's like, can I come? And he's like, no, you can't. And then he comes up with this whole excuse of being gay. And she just makes her whole personality about like supporting him coming out and like the legalized gay shirt that she comes on. Like that whole scene was so amazing. He's just hilarious. I love him.
Okay, but did that scene not remind you of Wedding Crashers?
1000%.
Okay, because I was going to say, do you think that the writers kind of like the scene from Wedding Crashers? Because Wedding Crashers came up before this.
Did it?
I think so.
No, I loved, Ethan had the perfect lines and the perfect comedic element for this whole movie. Like, even when he was being serious, he said things that came out perfectly. And I loved Ethan's character. Like, everyone needs an Ethan.
Yes. I mean, Ethan literally said some of my favorite quotes where it's, you're all going to hell anyway. You might as well do something. I forget what he said, but he said, you're all going to hell anyway. And he also said, yeah, but you're someone's first choice. He had the perfect quotes.
Yeah. Oh, the quote exactly when he was in the bedroom to her was, I think I'm gay. Nope, I'm definitely gay. That was just so great. But no, the speech in London when he's like, you are someone's first choice. It was like, I want to be someone's first choice besides my dog.
Again, I love Ethan's character, and I'm so glad that he's the main character of the sequel.
So I do have another spill the popcorn. I don't know if you caught on to this one, but I caught on to this one.
What?
So on the park bench, when Marcus and Rachel are talking, and it's when Marcus tells Rachel, how big do you think the house is that Dex's dad is buying for both of them? There's a woman sitting next to them reading another Emily Griffith book. And the woman who's reading the book is Emily Griffith.
Oh, that's cute.
Griffin.
Oh,
Giffin. Emily Giffin. And she's reading her own book as well, which I thought was so funny.
Hey, you're the PR queen, I would say that that's a great move.
I love when authors go into their movies. Like I know in It Ends With Us, Colleen Hoover has a cameo in her movie as well. It's very quick. You wouldn't notice unless you know who Colleen Hoover is. And also the most iconic one is Stan Lee in all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It's
I love
I love the a good cameo. It's going back to Adam Sandler and his wife. Whenever his wife comes into the movies, I think that's really sweet. I would also love to play different characters in every movie if I was the wife of a well-known actor. But okay, so we've kind of taken this review meet cute moment to favorite moments, maybe not so favorite moments. I was just curious why you would pitch it to someone who hasn't watched it.
I would pitch it to someone because like I said, I've gotten something out of it from each time in my life that I've watched it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think watching this movie, depending on what you're going through in life, if you're in a relationship or you're single, or maybe you're just kind of coming out of a relationship, I think you can get something and relate to all the characters, but it's in a way that's lighthearted and fun and not like, oh my God, I need to call my therapist right now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I agree.
And there's so many fun, lighthearted moments too, like when they're both dancing, having the dance off, in the bar, and she's like, "Did you just pull your vagina?" She's like, "No, I just pulled near my vagina." Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then when she's running in the rain, or like, there's just so many moments where you're like, it's not too serious, and when it gets a little serious, they come in with a joke.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think it's the right level of 50-50 rom-com?
Yes,
You do?
1,000.
Okay. Okay.
I feel
No,
like you don't.
no, I think I would agree. I think but I think because I love it so much, I really like the deep storylines. But
Mhm.
at its when you watch it, you're going to have more moments where you laugh, I think, than I would think. But I do have two spill the popcorns for you.
What? We should just name this episode Spill the Popcorn on Something Borrowed because we are just rapid firing them.
I know. Hilary Swank, the Oscar-winning actress, actually served as one of the main producers on the film.
I love
Yep.
this. Okay.
And Kate Hudson was actually several months pregnant
I did know this one.
while she was filming this, and she got pregnant. And I will say that I think it was also really cute how Darcy's character falls in love with that whole chipmunk story, which I thought was hilarious because it just also shows you the dichotomy between her character and Rachel's, because Rachel obviously didn't fall for that chipmunk story.
I have to give Steve Howey and Rachel and Jennifer Goodwin credit. When he's telling that story at the bar, that just shows you what a great actor he is.
And that's really who he is.
I would love to see the outtakes of that because he's just so passionate about this tiny little chipmunk.
Yeah.
It just was great. That was one of my notes too. I love that. Sorry.
I thought you would have loved that, especially because you love off campus and you probably wanted to see his character in a different light. But in the last couple of minutes, I wanted to ask a question to our viewers and kind of hear if you've watched this movie, what other rom-coms came to mind while watching it? Because I think the most recent time that I watched it, a lot of other rom-coms came to mind. And so I think that this movie was really cute in how it was kind of universally applicable. So that was my one question for everyone. And if,
Before we go, I need to bring something up because this was just, remember how I said in the beginning I had something I want to say about Colin Egglesfield?
oh yeah, yeah.
Tell me you did not see Tom Cruise.
I think the very first time I watched it, I did. Now I
I
can't.
not watch it without seeing a younger Tom Cruise. And I have a photo that I'm going to share with you that's side by side of them. It is literally like it's his father. Or like not mini me because they're like the same height, but the entire time I could not stop seeing Tom Cruise and it was really
Yes,
bad.
now that you bring that up, the very first time I watched it, I think I'm starting to remember how I thought that he looked like Tom Cruise, but the more I watch it, I don't because they do look different when you've watched the movie so many times as I have. But no, I agree. Very, dark brows, dark hair,
I'm telling you, the image I'm going to share with you, you're going to be like, oh my God, because it's stills from the movie. It's insane. But yes, I would love, yeah, right. I think because this is a classic, trope that we see so many rom-coms in, I'd love to see what other rom-coms people got from this one, like you said.
Yes, and I'll leave everyone with this. If you have not watched the movie yet, but you are like me in that you cannot read a book after you've watched the movie already, there is a book, and so you can totally read the book first. Save yourself. While I couldn't save myself, you can totally read the book first. Maybe read the first and the second book before you watch the movie.
I would love to ask our viewers if they've read the book first and then watched the movie. Did they think the movie did it justice? Because you only read the second book.
And that's a very hot topic these days of if the book has been told truly in the movie. Every summer after or whatever that just came out on Amazon Prime is a huge debate. I think a lot of people think that Off Campus was more along the lines of the book. Every year after, I haven't watched it yet. I have read the book. Isn't like the book I heard. So
Cupid's Crew, we want to see you in the comments. Let us know what you thought of the book to movie adaptation. Let us know what rom-coms you thought of when you watched this, and just talk to us.
How you like the movie.
We will see you all next week with another rom-com.
Bye.